I will be starting in a second. Okay. Three, two, one. GoNintendo podcast, Webisode 531, the Audino podcast. Audino is a normal type Pokemon. While it is not known to evolve into or from any other Pokemon, it can Mega Evolve into, I'm not telling you, but you already know. Audino is a bipedal pink and cream Pokemon with oval blue eyes. The top of his head, its back, and arms are pink, while the lower half of his face, body, ears are cream colored, as well as its front and fingers. The patterning of pink and cream on its chest resembles a jacket. There are 3 digits on its hands and 2 on its feet. It has a puffy white tuft for a tail. Audino has floppy ears with thin curled extensions on the underside. It can use these ears as radars, and it has an incredible hearing ability. The feelers on its ears act like stethoscopes in that it can feel the beat of another Pokemon's heart. That is scary. To assess the Pokemon's feelings and overall physical condition. The feelers are also able to determine when an egg is close to hatching. Well, that sounds useful. It's number 531. It's a normal type Pokemon, and you'll hear about the next one next week. All right. First off, I don't know what's going on with the chat, but I was logged in and I was talking, and then it just crapped out and I couldn't get back in, blah, blah, blah. So I'm in there. My name in there is Rummy Cowboy 2, but it is the real Rummy Cowboy, as I promised I would explain in the chat. So that's me. Now that that's out of the way, why am I doing a Thursday podcast? Because the next couple days are going to be hell for me. If you haven't read on the site, my sister is getting married, and sure, I'm very happy for her. I like the guy she's getting married to. I like him a lot, actually. But weddings aren't really my thing. And because it's my sister, I'm doing a lot more than I would for a traditional wedding or any other wedding. Or I should say, most other weddings. I'm family in the wedding party. Well, I don't even know the correct words to use. I dislike weddings so much that I try and avoid them and all their terminology as much as possible. So I'm in it, and there's like, what's it called? Rehearsal dinner tomorrow, and it's not around here. We got to go out to where it is, and then the wedding is Saturday. So for the time that I'm gone tomorrow, I will have someone covering the site, and I'll take care of it when I get back to the hotel. And then Saturday, I have someone covering the site pretty much all day because I will be at the wedding. So I gotta go to this. So yeah, Thursday or Friday and Saturday are very busy. Usually, if the podcast can't happen on a Saturday, we do it on a Friday. But now it can't happen on a Friday, so I had to do it today. So that's why I'm doing it. Oh God, here comes the cat. So, sorry, Manch. You got to get all dressed up, and I don't really get dressed up. It's not really my thing. I'm a little bit different from the usual, as you can tell when I wear captain's hats, and I'm sitting right now in a black t-shirt and stars and stripes shorts. But nothing against people that like to get dressed up or anything like that. It's just not my thing. Plus, I don't drink, and I don't mean like I don't drink often or I drink socially. I mean I don't drink at all. So, weddings aren't really my thing because a lot of people drink there. And I don't dance at all unless there's a dance mat in front of me. So, again, nothing against people that like to dance, just not my thing. I'm not into like fancy foods. I don't like being out in front of people. Podcasts. Are you watching, for people watching the live stream, are you watching the idiot cat behind me? I'm sure you can hear him. So yeah, not my thing. So I've been super stressed out and, trying to fit in regular work and all that stuff. It's just, I've been dreading these 2 days for a very long time now. And it was like, it's 9 months, it's a year away. It's 9 months away. And now it's tomorrow. The fun starts tomorrow. So I wish I could do a regular podcast. I would much rather be here on Saturday doing a podcast, but what are you going to do? I guess the best part is I don't have to do a speech. I had to do a speech at another wedding, and that was like the extra icing on the cake. So we're going to see which is worse, having to do a speech at a wedding or having to be directly related to the person that's getting married. Oh, me dressed up. I can't tell you how angry it makes me. It makes me feel so uncomfortable. But anyway, that's what's going on. That's why I had to move the podcast. So thank you to those of you who managed to join me today, last minute. Like I said earlier, I didn't know what time I could do the podcast. I didn't know how it was going to work out. I just knew I had to do it today. So thank you to T27 Duck and Aaron Knights and Carefree Captain and Corey and Kerbals and Fireflame and Floody and Hewlinton and Malik Halo and Mario Starn. Yes. And Nightwind and Nintendarn, Cumulative and SD Sick Hero and Thrillmo, Twisted and Vash and whoever else I didn't see in there. I greatly appreciate it. So let's get into some regular stuff rather than me crying about going to a wedding tomorrow or Saturday. As you might know already, which I've discussed, there's no Parents Play video for this week. Because my parents are preoccupied with getting things ready for the wedding. So they are not able to come over and do their usual Thursday visit like they do. So they are not here. So we cannot play a game. So that means the last episode we did will have to take us through this week as well. But that's not too bad, because last week's episode was Yoshi's Woolly World, which is still not available here yet. So if you'd like to get another look at what that game's all about and see my parents do surprisingly well with it, you can check out that video on our YouTube channel. It's also linked at the top of the website. So please enjoy that. And then next week we will get back. Next week we will get back to a more regular show. Cumulative says those parents get so mad. They both really enjoy doing the videos. They honestly do. My mom gets frustrated with my dad. I mean, that's regular life. But when they're playing the games, yes. And then my dad just gets frustrated because he doesn't understand how games work and he doesn't understand what to do and he doesn't know how you're supposed to figure things out. So that's why the series is funny to me. And thankfully, a lot of you guys seem to enjoy it as well. So yeah, Yoshi it is for this week. But I mean, there's how many other episodes if you haven't seen them all? Carefree Captain says RMC's dad's shoes must get tight getting ready for this wedding. Well, he is nervous too because father of the bride. He's got to give a speech. Never had to do one before. I do not envy that position. And if you listen to if you watch the Parents Play series, my dad has a very, very unique way of thinking and acting and the way he speaks. And that's exactly how the speech is going to be. It will leave 90% of the room scratching their heads trying to figure out why he's saying the things he's saying and where they're coming from. Even family members that know how he speaks will understand that he's weird, but they don't understand what he's saying. So it should be really funny. But yeah, I feel bad for him. He's not looking forward. He's very nervous about the speech. I completely understand that. Aaron Knight says, I hope we get to see a pic of RMC in his dress suit. Oh, I'm sure you will. If you're friends with me on Facebook, I'm sure someone will tag me in some garbage. I'll do my best to untag it. I was very close to leaving Facebook last night just because I was like, You know, I wouldn't leave GoNintendo's Facebook. I would keep that going because that's important. But personal Facebook, I was like, Cumulative, I am not a husband yet. Mom Brain and I have been engaged for a long time. And the reason we haven't had the wedding is because, you know, we don't want to do a regular wedding, and everything we like try and think of are like, not really us. Not really something we want to do. We're more worried about, you know, the important things like paying bills and getting adult things done rather than throwing a big party. So it'll happen at some point, but it's not going to be anything crazy. I'd like to go down to the courthouse and just done, but we will see how it goes. Carefree Captain, somebody's going to record my dad's speech. I can't do that to him because I know I've had my speech secretly recorded, and it doesn't make me mad, but it makes me uncomfortable that it could come up at any moment. So I'm not going to do that to him just because I've been there. But someone will record it, I guarantee it. So yeah, no Parents Play. Obviously, I threw together this show at the last minute, so there's not any Twitter question, and it's just me, so there's not any music. So you're getting the most basic of basic shows today. I apologize for that. It's going to be me. It's going to be you guys in the chat. It's going to be the regular news. And talk about what I played. And that's about it. But thank you for joining me, like I said. All right. Let's get to some regular news. The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. We found out that you get a special costume when you play through local multiplayer. This was detailed by Mr. Alan Newman, Mr. Iji Enuma, and director Hiromasa Shikata. They said there's these little friendship tokens that you get, and you get them if you play with other people locally or through download play. So your friends could have a copy of the game and you could play together in the same room, or your friends could come over with their 3DSs and download the game and play with you that way. And then when the session is over, someone outside of the castle will get castle in the game, obviously, will give you these little friendship tokens. I forget what they're called. But you're only going to get these special like proofs of friendship from people you know in the real world. So they have to be with you in real life, in the room that you're in, playing with you. You're not going to get them from people online. Because, you know, Nintendo's big on the local multiplayer experience, so they wanted to give something special to those people that make a point to get together in real life and actually play the game, which I think is going to be the best way to play. Online will be, you know, perfectly fine. But I know there's just that special something, that little something extra that comes from playing in the same room with people. Oh boy. Taka Rakitsune says, so my friends don't live anywhere near me, like other states and countries, so I will not have access to this special costume. How nice. Hopefully just a cosmetic costume and not something that has substantial effects. The game itself is already losing my interest with the online mode's region lock. One of my friends I was hoping to play with lives in the UK and I'm in the US. So that's basically been dashed at this point. Oh, well. Well, yeah, that does suck. I mean, we know why Nintendo's doing it, because they want to make sure, because online is such a crucial part of this, they want to make sure the online connections are as stable as possible, so they want to kind of tie people to the same region. So I can understand that move, but yes, it does suck. Like there's, I have friends in the UK that I would love to play with as well, and I will not be able to do that. I'd love to play alongside Nintendan or Poopaloop, but not possible. It is what it is. Better overall experience for most, but some people will be upset. Kind of how it goes all the time. Yacht Club. So, you know, Yacht Club had some secret things going on with Nintendo, and they were like, oh, no, we don't know what you're talking about. And there was more evidence, and they were like, oh, what? You guys are crazy. And then it was confirmed. I'm talking about the Shovel Knight amiibo, of course. You know, there were rumors of that for a very long time. And then it was officially confirmed. And then, we finally get past that stuff. The amiibos announced, and you would think that's that. But then just a couple weeks later, people are like, hey, what about this stuff? It was spotted that on the the amiibo website, the Shovel Knight amiibo is listed as being supported in Smash Brothers. It says customizable amiibo figures for training in battle, which would, point to a playable Shovel Knight in Smash Brothers. And this is another part of the rumor that was discussed previously, but not as strongly as the amiibo. So now it seems like we're going through the same song and dance. The news got out there. Yacht Club has been asked about it about 1 million times on Twitter, and they always give the same variations on the same answer. So the one I have in front of me said, Yacht Club says, appreciate the enthusiasm for the idea, but I believe this listing was made in error. So they're once again denying it, but they're not flat out denying it. They could be, being coy there by saying they believe the listing was made in error, as in it was listed too early. But, it's not a stretch to think that Shovel Knight would be in Smash Brothers. I mean, it's the first indie game to have an amiibo, so Nintendo obviously feels fondly about Yacht Club games. So I wouldn't see it as something that's completely impossible. And then on top of that, there's the Fighters Ballot, which is where people vote in who they want. And apparently we're going to get characters in Smash Brothers based on who we vote for the most. And it's not crazy to think that Shovel Knight would be somewhere in the top of those most voted characters. So there's multiple ways it can happen. But if you're going to go with what just Yacht Club says right now, they're saying no. They're saying it was a mistake, and that's the story, and they're sticking to it. Moldy Clay has first comment. And he says, well, their comment doesn't mean anything given the amiibo and retail game. See, right there. That's another part of the rumor I forgot. I believe we broke the story on there being a retail version of Shovel Knight. We had the retailer listings, and Yacht Club was like, no, that's great and all, but no. They were basically like, yeah, that's an awesome idea, but nope. And now we know that's true. Moldy Clay continues by saying, however, the North American Amiibo site also means nothing. The site had said Toad works with Super Smash Brothers. Zero Suit Samus works with DuckTales, and so on. It also lacks information. Neither Yacht Club or the North American Amiibo site can be trusted. People need to get over it. So Moldy Clay makes a good point there. That's one way of looking at it, as Yacht Club telling the truth. And then Moldy Clay also goes through, so I believe it's Moldy Clay. I'm going to feel bad if it's not. I believe he goes through painstaking work to put out an updated amiibo infographic every time we get a new announcement, or there's new details on what amiibo will do what in what game. He puts out a very nice infographic that on Twitter that shows you, what works in what, and what's the new information. So if you're looking for that, he does a really good job with it. So check that out. And like I said, hopefully it's him. I'd say I'm a good 80% sure it's him. What we got here? Mr. Takashi Tezuka talked about Mario's long-term success. I don't know if you know this, but Mario's been around for like 30 years, and he's been pretty popular all that time. You don't see too many characters that are popular for that long, are still supported with new content, and are still highly regarded. Like, let's think. Mickey Mouse definitely deserves to be in there. He's been around longer than Mario, and has continually had content put out with him in it, and that content is usually highly regarded. Oh, hello, Comanche. Now, Bugs Bunny. Oh, no, Comanche. There you go. Comanche is bothering me and trying to step on the keyboard. Bugs Bunny, he's been around that long, and he's starred in things that were good quality, but he's had some rough spots in there too. Like, it's interesting. I don't know how many people today know Bugs Bunny. Not people, I should say kids. I think there's a new Bugs Bunny cartoon on Cartoon Network. I think that's what I caught the other day. Saw something quickly. But I would guess more kids would know Mickey Mouse. But just trying to think of other characters off the top of my head that have been around that long and continue to get like regularly supported and are of high quality. But anyway, yeah, Mario deserves to be in that list. And how is it that Mario has maintained his popularity all these years? Why do fans keep returning to him? Mr. Tezuka says, personally, I think that even before people came to like Mario as a character, it's the gameplay of Super Mario that really resonates with them. We created Super Mario Brothers paying close attention to intuitive feelings, things that anyone in the world can relate to, which users feel through the gameplay. Running is fun, jumping high is something you want to do, falling is scary, and spikes hurt you if you touch them. I think it all started with how gameplay resonated with players. From there, it's been how we've continued to make Mario games for so long. Excuse me, and all the work we have put into making sure that Mario is never used in an inappropriate way that has allowed him to slowly become a well-loved character. And he says, as far as important elements of Mario games, ultimately it comes down to the quality of the gameplay. No matter how many Mario games we release, if players don't enjoy them, it can only be a bad thing for Mario. The quality of the visual design is also very important too. It's vital that we work hard to make sure we present everyone with the same image of Mario across all these different games. And hopes for Mario's future, he says. I hope that Mario has been loved so much up to this point is, well, I guess there's a word missing there. The fact that Mario has been loved so much up to this point is nothing short of miraculous, although obviously this is in part the result of the untold work of multitudes of people, not limited to just the developers at Nintendo. It's impossible for me to imagine what Mario will go on to become in the future, so I am very excited to find out. However, I do hope that even after 30 years, Mario continues to be Nintendo's lead video game character. I very vividly remember a game magazine, I think it was Ultra Game Players, that had a feature on Comanche, you're driving me nuts here, dude. That had a feature on Donkey Kong Country, and they had like an article that was saying, like, is Mario on his way out? Is Donkey Kong going to be the new mascot of Nintendo? You know, like Donkey Kong is definitely worthy of being a mascot of Nintendo, especially in the early days when the arcade game was called Donkey Kong and Mario wasn't Mario. So, but it was like, you know, Donkey Kong Country, which with its amazing graphics is going to push Mario out of the spotlight, and Nintendo's going to drop Mario and only go with Donkey Kong from here on out. And I was like, boy, that's a silly thing to say. And I was like, you know, I don't know how old at the time, 11 or 12, maybe something like that. And I vividly remember thinking, Nintendo's not going to do that. Why would they do that? And obviously they haven't. But Donkey Kong is still an important character all these years later. But yeah, Mario's been in a lot of games, and as far as the mainline entries go, I don't think it's wrong to say they're all fantastic games. If you talk about the main Mario entries, there have been spin-offs that have been lackluster, and there have been spin-offs that have been amazing, but I don't think there's been any spin-offs where it was like truly an abysmal title, other than, like, you know, the CDI game, whatever that's called, Hotel Mario or whatever. But that's a special circumstance. Yeah, I don't. Main Mario games, the reason Mario's so popular is, yes, the games play well, and they're fun to play, and they're expertly crafted. But, you know, now people can just look at Mario and know that they're going to get a quality experience. So that's part of it. Like, whenever there's a Mario game coming out, especially a mainline Mario game, I'm not worried if it's going to be good. I know it's going to be good. I get excited for it as soon as it's announced. I can remember, like, Super Mario Galaxy 2, that was announced, and people were like, oh, rushing it out. It's going to be a garbage game, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I really don't think so. I don't think they're going to do a quick cash-in. They obviously had ideas they didn't use that they want to use, and Galaxy 2, I don't know which one I like better, Galaxy or Galaxy 2, but I think those two Mario games are fighting for top favorite Mario game. They're amazing experiences from all Mario games are with every facet, but that I feel really took things to the next level, which is why I'm so excited for, the next 3D successor. Super Mario 3D World was a fantastic game. Yes, I loved that game, and still love that game. But, I feel like that's kind of its own thing. There's 2D Marios, and then there's 3D Marios like 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, Galaxy 2. And then there's Super Mario 3D World, which was like it's like what Nintendo said it was, the step in between 2D Marios and 3D Marios that we never actually got. We just went from Super Mario World to Super Mario 64. There was no transitional thing in there, and Super Mario 3D World feels like that transitional step, just like they wanted it to be. So I would love to see another Super Mario 3D World or a game in that style, but I'd also like to see another Galaxy style game. We shall see what happens. I don't know. I don't know where Mario's going from here. It seems clear that Miyamoto is already cooking up some ideas for the NX, and he doesn't really seem interested in making a brand new Mario game for the Wii U in the style of Galaxy or in 2D style. So wherever Mario goes next for his main adventure, it feels like it's going to be like, the next big thing. So I'm excited about that. And I hope, just like Mr. Takashi hopes, that Mario's around even after 30 years and he's Nintendo's main character. I would love to see that happen. I don't think there's any reason why the guy needs to disappear. I also love Sonic and don't want Sonic to disappear, but I can easily admit that his games and the character himself needs a lot of help. Seems like there's a lot of people trying to do things with Sonic, and they're all like coming together and presenting a very, very blurred vision of the future for the character, and there's no like concentrated effort on going with one unique idea. He's trying to be too many things to too many people. But I wish him well. His cartoon series is doing well, so that's good. Europe, this week's digital downloads. What did Europe get? They got Dragon Ball Z Extreme Butoden. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, that is now available. Thomas and Friends Steaming Around Sodor. Or Solder. Get ready to roll with Thomas and Friends as they steam around Sodor, preparing the island for some very important visitors. The Duke and Duchess of Boxford are paying a visit, and the Fat Controller wants the yard to look its best. These are words? These are things? Help the engines get everything ready for the arrival of the special guests in this interactive story adventure packed with fun, puzzles, and games. I'll take your word for it, Thomas. Ninja Usagimaru, the Gem of Blessings, is available. You control Usagimaru and set off, or as his press release says, set off on a journey to rescue captivated villagers from the evil. I don't think this was checked. Not that I don't have my own typos, but I'm not putting out press releases here. Let's start this again. You control Usagimaru and sets off on a journey to rescue captivated villagers from the evil grasps of the Mononoke. Your mission is to bring the villagers to the safety of the Usagi statue. In each stage, there will be a captured villager, and the path to rescue them is filled with various traps and Mononoke. Use your various tools you have at possession and utilize the terrain and even the Mononoke themselves in order to rescue the villagers and finally bring them to safety. A little bit of English going on there. It's funny that comes up. I was just watching some Ashen's videos on YouTube. I've been watching the guy for years, but I go spits and spurts because I like to let him build up content and then I go in and binge on it. Check out Ashen's on YouTube. He does very basic unboxings, we'll say, of very crappy toys or crappy video games and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just find them funny, or not laugh out loud funny, but I find them interesting. And he takes a look at a lot of the instruction manuals that are packed with these things, or the instructions that's written on boxes. And usually, more often than not, it's got terrible English in it, which always makes me laugh. Mercenaries 2 or Mercenaries Saga 2 has a demo available. That is free, obviously. There's the Dragon Ball Z Extreme Budoden theme. There's also a Snoopy and Woodstock theme, a Geronimo Stilton Reporter theme, Geronimo Stilton and Trap theme, Geronimo Stilton in the Jungle theme, Paw Patrol theme, Mia and Me, Mia in Centopia theme, Mia and Me main characters, Mia, Mo, Yuko, and Onchow, or Onchow. That is also a theme. Adventure Time, Finn theme, Adventure Time, Jake theme. Man, lots of themes in Europe this week. Price drops on a whole bunch of stuff. DSiWare got The Mysterious Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Let's read it. Friday, August 13th, 1886, very early in the morning. The lanes of Soho are depraved, and the air is heavy like the minds of the people. No one can foretell what terrifying things happened during the night. The murder of a wealthy citizen with an irreproachable reputation raises a lot of riddles. Was he really murdered here, in Soho? And why did he have to die? You ask a good friend and forensic doctor for help. Only he is able to provide the answers you need to solve the case. Hopefully, Dr. Jekyll is really useful for your investigations. Slip into the role of the smart Inspector Newcomen and solve this strange case. I bet it's not going to be easy to solve. Wii U eShop got Momanga Pinball Adventures. I am interested in this title. Every once in a while, I get the urge to play some virtual... Oh, no. Oh, no. I just realized a terrible thing. I've had 2 bottles of vitamin water. I brought one up with me to do the podcast, and there was another one sitting here that's been here for a long time, and I think I've been drinking from it. Oh, well. What are you going to do? Still tastes good. Does vitamin water go bad? Anyway, Momanga Pinball Adventures. I like virtual pinball. I don't play all the tables that are out there, but every once in a while I see a game that interests me and I want to check it out, and this is one of them. Momanga is a unique pinball game where you bounce through different worlds. On the way, you team up with friends to defeat enemies and conquer boss fights. A little flying squirrel takes on the forces of evil. Join Momo, Panda, and Fry in a quest to save the Momangas from the claws of evil owls. If you watched Twin Peaks, you know that the owls are not always what they seem. They're up to no good, basically. Thank you, Malakalo. He wished me rest in peace because I'm going to die from the vitamin water. Now I know what's going to happen. He told me. Raku and Friends is available. Sure, let's read it. Driven by his unrequited romantic yearnings, the charming but not very smart Raku leaves his cozy, comfortable home in search of that special someone. A freshly picked flower, a goofy smile, and off he goes. In his frantic race for survival, Raku embarks on a fantastic adventure in a world that's as wild and beautiful as it is dangerous. Use your gamepad to guide Raku through the wonders and perils he encounters along the way. Will Raku find the love of his dreams? His fate is in your hands. The sun is in your hand. Cumulative. That explains it. It says vitamin water, when it goes bad, becomes fat water. That explains my ample frame. Now I get it. I just got to stop drinking vitamin water. Wicked Monsters Blast HD Plus is available. The Game Boy Advance game Konami Crazy Racers is available on the Wii U Virtual Console. And then there's other special offers. So there you go. That's your European releases for the week. Oh, dear. Oh, my. First comment comes from Casey44. It says, tempted with Dragon Ball Z. This pleases my over 9,000 nibbles. Well, I'm glad it does. That's a lot of nibbles to please. I was saying, oh, my, like that because I've been watching the Fargo TV series. I finished the first season and watched the first episode of the second season. Man, what a great show. But now I can't get that like Minnesotan accent, North Dakotan accent out of my mind. I fall into it all. You watch a show where everybody talks like that, and then you start talking like that. If you don't know, I did a review of Yoshi's Woolly World, which is available for your peepers. It's linked at the top of the site. Nintendo says, make your parents play at the wedding. That is a pretty good idea. There will be alcohol there. My parents have have alcohol from time to time. I've never in my entire life seen either of them drunk. My mom has MS, which was undiagnosed when I was a younger child, halfway through my life, I would say. Less, maybe like 11 or 12. She got diagnosed, has been on medication ever since, different types of medications. And obviously you can't take alcohol with some medications, but others you can. They just warn you. They're like, careful, you know, if you take some if you drink alcohol or you're taking this medication, it might hit you harder than you think. And that's what I've seen happen. She's been like out somewhere and had like, you know, one drink, and she was like, I have to stop. This is really hitting me. Well, yeah, I've never seen them really drunk or anything like that. But them at the wedding, you never know. They've both been stressed out. Dancy has the first comment on my Yoshi's Woolly World review, and he says, God, I'm so excited for this, and your review certainly isn't helping me keep my hype in check. Looking forward to Friday. Well, it's almost here, Dancy. It's almost here. Hopefully you digitally pre-ordered it, so you can just get it tonight at midnight. And if you want the quick rundown of what I said, it's a beautiful game, has a great soundtrack, controls very nicely. The level design I found really engaging and fun to explore. There's plenty of things to collect, which makes it even better to explore the levels. Gives you a good reason to take your time and go through them rather than race through them. And most importantly, I think this is the best Yoshi game since Yoshi's Island. I definitely think, and I think that's without question in my, well, that personally, in my mind, without question, this is the best Yoshi game since Yoshi's Island. There have been other games that have been good, fun, very enjoyable, but Yoshi's Island is, you know, the upper echelon, the epitome of a great Yoshi game. Is this game better than that? I don't know, because this game probably wouldn't exist without that game, so I don't know that I could say it's better. Because it does a lot of the same things. There are some unique twists in there, but it feels good to get a game like that. It's just, you know, it has that Nintendo feeling of expertly designed levels. Nintendo and Good Feel did an excellent job with it. It feels really, really good. So, yeah, I really liked it, and hopefully you guys are looking forward to it. Obviously, North America's been waiting quite some time to get it. Our friends in Europe have had it for a while now. I believe it's out in Japan. I could be wrong about that. All right, so here's the big chatter of the week, if you're not tired of it already. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. There have been rumblings and rumors of a remake for a while now. I can remember these remakes, or this rumor going on for quite some time. So this week we had the next bit of information leak out about it, but it seems like we're getting more concrete information. I'll try and give you the timeline of how this information came out, you know, the information from this week. So there was talk of someone doing data mining on the Wii U eShop, pouring through all, you know, I don't mean like going on the Wii U eShop with their gamepad. I mean like, you know, sifting through data, the bits and bytes, the coding, if you will. And they found a whole bunch of listings for things, but they also found an icon for The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And the way the icon was different from how Nintendo puts up Wii games for you to download on the Wii U eShop. So there's been Wii games on the Wii U eShop like Super Mario Galaxy 2, you know, any number of games. Doesn't matter. But you guys get what I'm saying. The icon for this Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess was different from how Nintendo handles those icons. So it led people to believe that perhaps this was an indication of the remake. So that was earlier in the week, and then a couple days later, more information came forward where people found, or people were data mining stuff and found a whole bunch of more information, like Wii releases on the Wii U eShop, such as Metroid Other M and Super Mario Galaxy and some other stuff in there. But they also found a listing that specifically said The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. Now, obviously, that would indicate more than just a Wii release on the Wii U. It would indicate, if you're looking at Nintendo's past, a like full-on remake, just like The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. Obviously, the Wind Waker HD got a big visual overhaul from GameCube to Wii U, and there were also some other tweaks in there as well. So that's where the speculation is right now. Nintendo hasn't commented on it, obviously. So there could be a Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD remake coming. And I was saying the other day, I would be happy to see that happen. I'm obviously a very huge Zelda fan. I would be excited to play this because I only played through Twilight Princess once, so I would definitely play through it again. But I personally feel there are other games that I would like to see get an HD remake before Twilight Princess. I picked like Sunshine as my favorite. I think Sunshine. It's about time for Sunshine to get a second chance and get like Wind Waker came out. People are like, "What the hell is this garbage? Why does it look like this? I'm not playing it. This is a terrible choice." And then as the years went on, people's opinions changed, and people saw that it was a great game and gave it a shot later on in life, blah, 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 blah. And Sunshine kind of had the same thing going for it. While the visuals were fine, people were like, what the hell kind of game is this? Why does he have a water jetpack? I don't like this, blah, blah, blah. But I thought the game was fantastic, and I think as time has gone on, people have been like, that was a really unique, interesting take on Mario. So I would like to see it get the HD treatment so fans could be like, all right, I'm finally going to give this game a chance. I've grown up and matured since my early days of complaining on the internet. He said in jest. But I think it's time for that game to get a shot. But right now it seems like The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess is the thing that's going to get its time to shine in HD. So hopefully that's something you guys are interested in. I think that's exciting. We know that Nintendo's been going through all the Zelda games and giving them some nice revamps. We've had Wind Waker HD, like I said. We had Ocarina of Time on 3DS. We had Majora's Mask on 3DS. So it's not like, this is a crazy idea. Nintendo seems to be doing stuff like that. So Twilight Princess could be the next in line, and it seems these leaked details seem very promising. Hylian Sanes, that is a great name, spelled Hylian, like Hylian Shield, like Zelda. Hylian Sanes says, I'd put my money on a Wii version release. As cool as it would be to see an HD version, I just have a feeling this isn't the case. Seems like we would know something about it by now if it were going to be a new Wii U game. You never know. Maybe it'll be a nice holiday surprise. They're like, hey guys, listen. We know Zelda Wii U was supposed to be out this year, but it's not. We apologize for that. We also know Triforce Heroes is out, but that's not a traditional Zelda game, so we know some people are a little miffed with that. So here's what we're going to do for you. We'll give you Twilight Princess HD. How does that make you feel? And everybody will rejoice for 5 seconds. And then people will be like, does it have motion controls? Take the motion controls out. Obviously, motion controls in Twilight Princess were, not really crucial to the experience. Skyward Sword, I would be very upset if they took out the motion controls. Twilight Princess, Twilight Princess, I'd be like, either way, give or take. Nintendo says that they have their own way of making games, and this should not come as a surprise to anyone that follows Nintendo. And they say that fun is the most important thing. Fun's got to come first. This comes from an interview with Mr. Risa Tabata. Is that a mister? Let's say this. This comes from an interview with Nintendo employees Risa Tabata and Kensuke Tanabe. Tabata says, first, the basic idea is to have the fun element of the game. As long as we can see that, we can move forward with that game. There are cases where we will start with using documents to lay out the plan, but this time, speaking of Chibi Robo, we thought it would be nice to get the feeling of the game. So they, Skip, the co-developer, were able to come up with a prototype fairly quickly. Mr. Tanabe says, Nintendo itself, I believe we create games in a very unique way. First, we don't create a lot of documents when we go through the development of a game. There are companies that I know that have a huge stack of documents listing up basically the things they want to incorporate in a game. Nintendo has its own way. Tabata says, we don't start a project until we know what's going to be the main core of that project. Once we know what's going to be the baseline, the core of that game, the fun element of it, then we start to create the prototypes and play around with it and start adding elements to make it a fun game. What we can do to make it a fun experience. In that process, obviously, we have a lot of ideas that will get passed through, and some of them will get dropped or moved forward. Then Mr. Tanabe ends by saying, among all these things that we do to come up with a game, by simply creating one game, it will be extremely difficult for a development company to understand the importance of that. And that's mainly the reason we tend to work with developers for long periods of time. So we can get them to understand the philosophy and idea behind the process we go through at Nintendo. And for those companies that end up understanding our ideas and agreeing to work that way, those are essentially the companies that will work with us for the years to follow. So obviously, Retro, Rare was a part of that for a very long time. Skip, Good Feel, Next Level Games. I'm forgetting that one. I'm forgetting one. Oh, there's what I wanted to say. Oh, I don't remember. Monster? Is that what I'm trying to think of? So yeah, we all know that Nintendo has a very unique way of approaching their game development, and I appreciate that, and I think that helps lend to why I like the company's output so much, because they are legitimately worried about fun first. And I know that's a silly thing to say. You would think all companies do that, but I think most developers, or I should say most big-name publishers that have games coming out from developers, are like, we need a big open-world game with lots of stuff to do, and or we need a first-person shooter, because those are really hot with the kids nowadays. But no one's thinking like, yeah, that's all well and good. You can say that, but is it going to be fun? That's the important part. I don't know why fun is like a bad word. Like fun is like, little kids like fun. Oh, makes me aggravated. What was I going to say? Who the hell is it? Cracked put out a great video the other day. We posted it on the site. The title of the video is unfortunately clickbaity, but they want people to watch it. But the content of the video is great. It's 3 people, 2 that are Nintendo fans and 1 that is not. It's a skit. And they do a great job of explaining why people dislike Nintendo and the stuff people say about Nintendo without, actually looking at what Nintendo does and how they do it and why they do it. Check it out. Like I said, it's Cracked. Just go to the Cracked YouTube channel and you can have a watch. Really good. I really liked it. Just, ignore the title. Wired has the first comment, and he says, or Weird. I got to stop. We've been doing that for years. It's weird. 2 eyes. Weird. Weird says, and that is why I have stuck with them for 30 years. I agree with you, good sir. If you thought Lego Dimensions was going to be... Wait. Well, I see discussion about pizza roll stuff. Pizza roll is not in the chat, is he? I didn't miss him coming in, did I? I've been talking... Here's why you should watch or follow our Twitter account. I've been having a conversation with the people over at Totino's. Their Twitter account is called Pizza Roll, and it's a little character that they made that's a pizza roll, but he's got like googly eyes. And we got into a conversation a while ago, and he added me as a friend, or I should say Totino's added me as I'm talking like pizza real person. He is a real pizza roll person. But they added me as friends, and we've been talking ever since. And Totino's has something coming up with Twitch where they're doing a special Super Mario Maker live stream. So I tweeted Pizza Roll, and I was like, hey, so you guys are working with Nintendo. That's a great idea. And he was saying like, yeah, I wish I could be in the game or something like that. And I was like, how about a Pizza Roll amiibo? And everybody's like, oh, that's a great idea. So if you'd like to see the stupid talk of Pizza Roll and myself on Twitter, plus some Nintendo news, you can follow and go Nintendo tweet. I have a fun time there. Mr. Koi says, Pizza Roll is wonderful. Tell me about it, my friend. And if I saw talk about drinking, what you drink with pizza rolls. I'm weird. I drink milk. I drink milk with like everything. You name it. If I eat that food, I will drink milk with it. Cumulative asks if Pizza Roll is friends with Nannerpuss, the character that we referenced a million years ago on the podcast. Yes, we used to be very big Nannerpuss fans, but IHOP has left Nannerpuss in the dust. Look up the Nannerpuss commercial on YouTube, and you're set for a great time. All right, so like I was saying, if you thought Lego Dimensions was going to be the last Lego game, you were mistaken. But I don't think any of us thought that, because Lego games sell way too many for Warner Brothers to let the Lego branches stop there. Lego game director Arthur Parsons says 1,000,000% Lego Dimensions is not the last Lego standalone game. The first day Lego Dimensions was announced internally, we were told there will be a standalone video game alongside Lego Dimensions. People love Lego video games, and we will continue to make Lego video games. There's a tease at the end of Lego Marvel's Avengers. You'll have to play to find out what it is. So they're already teasing the next Lego game in the next upcoming Lego game, Lego Marvel's Event. God damn it. Lego Marvel's Avengers. So there's another one coming, and there will be another one after that, and another until the end of time. Ladida says, I bet it's the exact same tease as in Avengers 2. Well, I have not seen a comic book superhero movie in forever. So I do not know what you speak of. God damn, what was the last? I got nothing against them. I just haven't seen any. I think the last one I saw was X2. X-Men 2. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, that's true. And I mean, like, you name it since then. I haven't seen it. I've watched Daredevil on Netflix. I thought that was great, but that's not a movie. Hi, Comanche. No, Comanche, you can't go there. You can go here. The mobile company DNA that's working with Nintendo on at least 5 mobile games. Their chief executive officer, Shintaro Asako, has said that we'll be hearing about the first game soon. His specific comment says, soon. We should be able to announce the game. I can't say too much about the Nintendo deal, but it's a really exciting initiative. It's a really long-term initiative. And they also made the point of saying that the deal originally went to March 2017, so DNA and Nintendo will have all 5 of their mobile games out by March 2017. But the CEO of DNA made it very clear that the end date of their partnership could extend far beyond that. So, you know, if these 5 games don't do too well, maybe we'll see that as the end. But right now, Nintendo and DNA have some very big plans. And I think they're kind of hinting at their NX stuff there, because we know DNA's involved with the NX, like, username, profile, whatever that stuff is going to end up to be. That's DNA has a lot of knowledge there, so Nintendo's working with them on that. Interesting times ahead, my friends. All kinds of fun stuff to speculate on and see what happens with. 2016 is going to be an interesting year for Nintendo fans. Oh boy. Bry Whiptix says, let the guessing games begin. What is it? Yep. There you go. Well, this goes hand in hand with that analyst that had tweeted out something saying the first DNA game is going to be announced soon, and it's not what you're expecting. So we had that speculation. Obviously, the analyst was saying he had inside information. A couple weeks later, we get this statement, so it seems like he was spot on. But what's it going to be? I do not know. What is unexpected from Nintendo? Insert your own joke there. A new IP? Super Mario Galaxy. I already did that. Your Wii U Virtual Console, not Virtual Console, but Virtual Console listings. Nintendo has filed a new trademark for Donkey Kong Jr. They already had a trademark for Donkey Kong Jr., but this I'm laughing because of something funny one of my cousin's kids said about Jr. I'll explain in a second. But Nintendo had the trademark for Donkey Kong Jr., as in Junior, the full word. But now they have gotten a new trademark for Donkey Kong Jr., just JR, period. So it looks like something could be going on there. Last time something like this happened, we got a Smash Brothers announcement. So maybe Donkey Kong Jr. is going to have a Smash Brothers appearance. I don't know. It's been sad to see Donkey Kong Jr. get left in the dust, but maybe it's his time to shine again. So my cousin's kids are crazy, and I mean that in the best way possible. They're just as weird as I am, and Mom Brain is, so we love hanging out with them. They're young. One's in middle school and one's in high school, and which makes me sound old. Freshman in high school, I think. But anyway, the younger of the two loves to make up weird names for like people and toys and figurines and whatever. And she had there was I forget what the hell what they were, like little rubber ducks, and she was naming them. And one of them was named so-and-so Junior, and the other one was named so-and-so Junior. It's like, oh, very different. It's the same thing but pronounced differently, which makes me laugh. So now every time I see Donkey Kong Jr., I think of Donkey Kong Jr. We also have the full list of data mined Wii U Virtual Console content and all that, which is a very long list. I don't think you want me to go through it on the show. You can read it on your own time. I'll give you a couple highlights. So, what we got here? Adventures of Bayou Billy, 1080 Snowboarding, Contra Advance, The Alien Wars, F-Zero Climax, Fire Emblem stuff in there. Some Kirby stuff, lots of Legend of Zelda, blah, blah, blah. So, some of them are listed by region because some of these are available in specific regions, and we're hoping to see them come here. But lots of big lists. I'll go down to the shorter list. Wii games on Wii U. Kiki Trick, Kirby's Epic Yarn, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, Mario Strikers Charge Football, Mario Super Sluggers, Metroid Other M, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Poke Park Wii, Pikachu's Adventure, Super Paper Mario, Wario Land Shake It, and Xenoblade Chronicles. So obviously some of those we don't know of yet. We would love to see them come here. Get that goddamn Skyward Sword out. I want to play that again. I know I just played it, and I want to play it again. And Wii U games, Kamen Rider, Summon Ride, and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. So there's your listing for HD. First comment comes from XC Warrior, and he says, so those are Japanese games that will come, not necessarily North America? Well, that we don't know. That's why this stuff is so interesting. Seems like a lot of content. And here's another thing that goes hand in hand with this interesting data mining. People are like, oh, something's going on with Nintendo. There's going to be a Nintendo Direct. We've been waiting a long time for a Nintendo Direct. They're finally giving us a new one. And another indicator of Nintendo Directs is big downtime for the Nintendo Network. And guess what's happening Monday? Very big Nintendo Network online maintenance. Monday, October 19th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. That's Pacific time. So California time 1 to California time 5. You will have maintenance on the online aspects of the Wii U, the 3DS, the Wii, and the DS. So, like, it says, as far as maintenance goes, it says all. So, like, it seems all of the online aspects of Wii U and 3DS are going to be knocked offline during this time period. And with the Wii and the DS, you have the Wii shopping channel down, and you have the DSi shop down. So, something big's going on here. What is it? I do not know. But that is a lot of maintenance for there to be a lot of nothing going on behind the scenes. So something's up. Kerbal says, curiouser and curiouser. I very much agree. If that's happening Monday, it's either in preparation for something coming later in the week, or we're going to get something this weekend. I don't know. I want to know. We're all going to find out together. Here's a big surprise from today. Nintendo of Europe sends out a press release saying Worlds Collide and Mario and Luigi Paper Jam Brothers coming December 4th. So Europe is getting Mario and Luigi, what we referred to before as Paper Jam. What is this garbage? Mario and Luigi, I guess that's what it's called. Mario and Luigi Paper Jam Brothers is coming this year to Europe. So that's the 3DS game. which we saw announced at E3 earlier this year. We knew it was coming to Japan this year, and I was like, man, well, there's your kiss of death for everybody else. It's going to take at least a couple months to localize it. But no, it's coming to Europe this year. As far as those of you waiting for your North American information, I don't know where it is. I don't know if we're getting it this year. I think we might have to. I think we might be losing out on it this year. Now I might be wrong, but I think we're getting God damn it, we're getting Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, whatever it's called, Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon this year, but Europe is not. So as the trade-off, Europe is getting Mario and Luigi Paper Jam Brothers this year, and we are not. There's still time for Nintendo to announce it. Starcoon says, well, that's a surprise. When is the American release date, Nintendo? And Nintendo said nothing. North America this week's digital downloads. Yoshi's Woolly World at midnight tonight. Midnight 01 tonight. New Super Mario Bros. U plus New Super Luigi U bundle is available on October 16th. 2 huge games in one bundle pack. So there you go. If you missed out on those, you can get them together. On the Virtual Console for Wii U is Final Fight 1. That is the GBA game. You take on the role of Cody, Guy, or Mike as they punch, kick, and throw down throngs of thugs. Your various eShop sales. There's an Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer Spot Pass distribution going on. You have a new client waiting. Louie is looking for a home designer in the Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer game to help decorate his place. Fulfilling Louie's request will net you new and unique items for your catalog. This gorilla, who's a fan of the Mushroom Kingdom, is available for a limited time via Spot Pass service. So there you go. New themes this week include the Legend of Legacy 7 Adventurers theme and Yoshi's Woolly World, Yoshi's on Parade theme, but that's available tomorrow. Also new this week, we got Manga Pinball on the Wii U. We got Ninja Strike Dangerous Dash. That's a Natsume game on the Wii U. Raku and Friends on the Wii U. Smile Basic on the 3DS if you want to learn how to make your own games. Then you got that. And the Magic Hammer, which was like announced as far as I know, was announced out of nowhere last week. It is now available on 3DS. And surprisingly enough, there's a new WiiWare app. If you are still using WiiWare and you are still just a Wii owner, you can now enjoy Crunchyroll on your Wii with the official WiiWare app. So that's a nice little surprise. Nice to see some support for the Wii there. First comment comes from Carefree Captain, who I believe is or was in the chat. Let's see. Was in the... No, he's there. He's there. Carefree Captain says, seems like sort of a slow week, though I might pick up Yoshi's Woolly World, and I should also maybe unwrap my copy of New Super Luigi U from the shrink wrap. This pleases my nibbles that feels like pants. Perfect. Perfect for the Yoshi discussion. You get extra points. All right, that's your top stories. What am I at? Oh, an hour. Perfect. So, what have I played this week? I've been playing... I've been trying to get people to play Undertale, but no one's started it yet, and it's driving me nuts. I really want someone to play that game. Like someone in my personal circle of friends. They will do it. They just haven't started yet. I also grabbed... Oh, that's interesting. Comanche, please. I'm almost done. Yeah, go up there. There's a game on mobile phones called Downwell. It is not free. It is paid. I know the idea of paying for games is crazy. It's about a guy that falls down a well and he shoots, but he can only shoot a certain amount of times until he lands. And when he lands, he recharges his shot, and you have to go down the well and get through levels. Old school graphic style, chiptune music. I've been really pumped for it. That's available as of today. I think it's on Steam too, so you can get it there. So I've been playing that, really liking it. I haven't had a ton of time to put into it, but I like what I've played. And I was playing Yoshi's Woolly World as well to get ready for the review, so you can read my thoughts on that. I have not touched my PS4 in a long time. Same goes for Xbox One's completely different. I haven't touched my Xbox One in forever. It's getting ready for Halo, but man, I don't know. it seems like this generation, PS4 and Xbox One, there really isn't too much reason for you to own both. But Tomb Raider's coming up as well too, so that's two things at the end of the holiday. But I've been spending my time playing The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. Now, I'm only allowed to say certain things about it, but here's what I can say. I've been playing like 95% of it I've played. And I don't mean all the content. I mean my time with the game. 95% of my time has been spent on single player, which is obviously not the focus of the game. And I will tell you, you may have said there's been footage online of single player, so you know what it looks like. But single player is not the way to play this game. It is, like Four Swords Adventures was obviously meant for multiplayer. And that's how I played it. And that's why it's one of my favorite games. That experience was so fantastic. I loved it. Loved the interaction with GBA and GameCube, the TV screen and the small screen. I had a blast. I really liked that. But that game could be played single player. You just group all the links together and drag them around with you. So, that was fine in and of itself. But Triforce Heroes is completely different in the sense that this is very, very, very focused on multiplayer. Like, the disparity between the experience you'll have between single player and multiplayer is going to be very big because you have to individually control each of the links. So, 3 links if you're playing single player, and they aren't clicked to you like they are in Four Swords Adventures. They just stand where they are because they turn into, I forget what they're called, some kind of doll. They just stand there until you move them. And the reason this is because the puzzles in this game are much more intricate, and they take advantage of the multiplayer aspect much, much, much more. So single player is a chore, to tell you the truth, because you're constantly switching between links. The good thing is the other links don't get hurt. While whatever link you're in control of is the one that gets hurt. The other two will not. So that is good. Otherwise, I think it would be impossible. But doing this, it makes it tough to play. It definitely does. And part of me appreciates that challenge because I always like the harder Zelda games, and I personally don't believe there is a hard Zelda game. There are tougher Zelda games like Majora's Mask, but I've never had a Zelda game where, like, I shouldn't say puzzle-wise. I'm not talking about puzzles. I'm talking about, like battles and stuff like that. An overall experience being difficult. I don't think there's a difficult Zelda game. Well, there's ones that are harder than others, but this, because of this, the way single player is handled, makes it more of a challenge. So the stubbornness in me enjoys that. But I can also recognize that it is not the way the game's supposed to be played. And I have gotten to play a couple multiplayer scenarios where I actually had real life people, and the difference between my enjoyment level was huge. Like, playing with actual people gives you a completely different experience. It brings me right back to that Four Swords Adventures feeling of, like, happiness and gameplay enjoyment. It's something I've wanted Nintendo to do again for so long now. I've really been looking forward to it. And to have something new that does that is fantastic. So when you have those people together, be it local, as it was for me, or online, it'll really click there. That is where the game feels fantastic. And that's because that's how the game was made. That's the aim of the game, to be a multiplayer-focused Zelda. It's just that this Zelda, as compared to Four Swords Adventures, is, unabashedly aimed at multiplayer, whereas Four Swords Adventures was like, yeah, you can play it by yourself and you'll be fine. This is like, you're going to have trouble if you play it by yourself. Like, that's not a knock against the game. I'm just, this is a multiplayer focused Zelda. So So that's what it is. Like they didn't, you know. I guess they had to put single player in because what Zelda games don't have single player. But if you're buying this and you don't plan on playing online and you don't have friends in real life to play with, I don't know how you're going to feel about it, to tell you the truth. I really don't know. I'm not saying the single player is bad. It's just not the way the game should be played. Definitely shouldn't. But yeah, you'll have online. So hopefully you are capable of playing online. I would imagine you would be if you're planning on picking up the game. And if not, then I'm hoping you have a lot of friends in real life. Because here's the other important part you have to remember. If you only have real life friends to play, you only need one copy of the game. Your two other friends can come over and just download the data that they need to play through local play or through download play. So that's not a worry there. You have 3 friends and you only got enough money for one copy. You guys can split the cost between all 3 and then play when you're together. And something the game does that I absolutely love, and it's another one of those little Nintendo touches, when you have players that are doing download play, which is what I had. The music on the 3DS with the copy of the game is like, very similar in style to how the music in Link Between Worlds was. And then on the people that are doing download play, the music is like old school chiptune, like 8-bit renditions of the songs that's playing on the main 3DS, which I love. Like, it's just a little something extra. Like, it's just fun. I really appreciate that. When I first heard it while I was playing, I was like, oh, that is such a neat little touch. But I like those kind of things, so maybe you don't give a crap. And I don't fault you. But yes, if you are planning on getting this game, then A, plan on playing online, or B, plan on playing with other people in your real life. Because that is how this game is meant to be played. And if you are playing that way, then you should have a hell of a time. Lots of stuff to do. Besides just going through the levels and finishing them, there's so many challenges to go back in and do, which is fantastic. And again, I don't really ever feel motivated to do that kind of stuff in games, but in this one, I definitely do. And I guess the best thing I can say about the game right now is, even with the struggle that single player is, I am still playing it that way because I'm still enjoying it. Like, I'm still having fun. It's just when I'm playing, I'm like, man, I wish I had other people to play with. So yeah, that's what I've been spending my time with. We will have the full review. I think the embargo is up the day before the game comes out. I think that's what it is. So we'll have our review. And you'll see lots of other impressions articles and video footage and stuff like that that we'll be pulling together for you guys. So yeah, just so you know, Triforce Heroes is a multiplayer-centric game. And if you do not have any plans on playing multiplayer, then you're going to have an experience that is somewhat less than the what Nintendo envisioned for the title. It's very clear they wanted people working together and having to work together to play this game, rather than you fumbling through all the people. And here's the other thing that bothers me. It's a minor thing that, for me, makes a big difference. Unless I'm wrong, and unless I have missed something in the controls, and that's very possible, you are unable to switch between the other characters with a button press. You have to use the touchscreen, which really interrupts the flow of the game for me. If I could hit like the L button and have it like bloop, 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 switch between the characters, that make it so much better. It would speed things up, which I can, it's a little thing that'll make a big difference for me. It wouldn't make the single player, great, and I'd be like, oh, single player's fine. But I would really appreciate that. And again, I could be wrong. I may have missed something. But I was pressing buttons while I was playing to see if there was another option. And I'm constantly thinking that while I'm playing. So either it's there and I missed it, or it's not there and I want it. And that's it. That's what I got for you. That's what I played. That's the news. That's the wedding coming up. That's the no parents play video. You got it all. That's the Yoshi review. We did it. Thank you so much to everybody that came in and watched today. I appreciate it. I know you have busy lives, and I know there are things you'd probably rather be doing at whatever time it is where you live on this Saturday or Friday or whatever's going on. But I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with me. Having you guys around in the chat and discussing things and letting me pop in there and grab some of your comments is always fun. So thank you for that. As I said, tomorrow is different. I'll be on the site tomorrow in the morning and in the afternoon, evening. But for the time I am gone, we will have Brian covering things. So thank you to Brian for doing that. And then Saturday, I will be at the wedding almost all day. I may be able to sneak in some stuff before the wedding, to tell you the truth. But Brian will be your main Saturday poster. So no worries about anything big going down and we're not around to get it. Brian will be here. So thank you to Brian again. He really helped out, and I greatly appreciate it. So that's what I got for you. Friday and Saturday, I'm busier than usual, and I wish I was here with you guys. But the podcast is done. It's out of the way. We did not miss a show. Thank you very much. If you're looking to get in touch with me, Mario Stern, send me an email rather than a PM on the site, because those are flooded. And an email I will definitely get to. All right, that's it. That's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a wonderful Friday, which I don't get to say to you guys often, and a wonderful weekend as well. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to regular site work. Have a great rest of your night, and I will see you for next week's podcast's regular day. Goodbye, everybody. That's the end of the regular audio, and this is the end of the live stream because I have to get back to work. So again, thank you. Have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you soon. See you later, everybody.